All right, let's look at some of these examples and how we're going to set them up. We're going to use the idea of CER, claim, evidence, and reasoning, in order to really lay out all of our math stuff. So the claim will be our answer in the end. We'll get to that in a moment. Next, evidence, data from the experiment or things from the problem. So we're going to read the problem and just write in what each of these are. This is always going to be our starting point. So a sample of potassium, that's just an element, undergoes a temperature change of negative 46.85 degrees Celsius. So this is our temperature change, negative 46.85 degrees Celsius, while releasing so many joules of heat. Now releasing means it's losing, so it's negative. The specific heat capacity is this, remember, so 0.7536. Apologize for my handwriting, it's very different to write on this. And we always need to put our units. So this is joules over grams times degrees Celsius. You just copy down what's there. So what's the mass of the sample? Well, that we don't know, and it's often going to be in grams. So we have our equation here. We want to solve it for mass. So what you do is when you have anything that you're solving for over here, you take Q and underneath put the other 2. So Q over the other 2. Because when we do that to both sides, like good math people would, these are going to cancel out, leaving us with mass. So our mass is now we just put in our values, negative 3346 joules all over Cp 0.7536 joules over grams degrees Celsius. Yeah, we want to write all this stuff out. It's proper stuff. Hopefully you're having a better handwriting than I am. And we plug it into the calculator. You'll always use a calculator. You'll never need to show your work. And so on my calculator, I would have gotten 378 grams. That's a positive 378. Has a little goof on mine. So 378 grams would give us the mass of what we would have got there. Now let's look at another example. All right, example 2. So we have the idea of going through what each of these would stand for. So my mass, 244.7 grams. Change in temperature, big old change in temperature, 612.42 degrees Celsius. Specific heat given, 0.4773 joules grams degrees Celsius. So in this case, I don't know what my Q is, and it says joules. Now what's nice is that I already have my equation set. So mass is 244.7 grams times Cp, 0.4773 joules per grams degrees Celsius times negative 612.42 degrees Celsius. Plug that all in my calculator already, and that gives me a pretty big number, 71528 joules. And as I didn't before, this is my answer. So joules. So again, I'm showing all of my work. I'm labeling what each of the things are. This is our evidence, or just facts and figures. The reasoning is all the math and the equation that shows. And that's my final answer. We're going to continue on with a few other examples just to give you an idea of one of each. And so let's continue on.